Hello, my Astro family. Welcome to August 2025, your horoscope and astrology on how to navigate the month ahead. You're going to want to grab your birth chart because this video is going to be very specific to you. I don't go into rising signs because I want you to map out your own birth chart. So you're going to follow along step by step so you can see where the planets are going to be in the month ahead and how it's going to impact you specifically. This is what I call the art of living your chart, where you're going to understand your unique blueprint, your unique alignments for August of 2025. And then if you have any further questions, of course, we can talk about it in a one-on-one session, but you're going to gain so many insights on exactly how to move through the month of August. You're also going to want to grab your calendar because in the second half of this video, we go through my Google Calendar so you can follow along with your own Google Calendar, and we go through date by date. That way, you know what days that you should plan certain things like date nights or business presentations, and what days you should definitely not do certain things like go out in public or try to get your family together for a family reunion, because you're going to know what the astro weather has in store for the month ahead. Now, when I get to that part, you guys love it when I do the color coding. As a Virgo, I love to be organized. So when we get to that part of the video, you will see that on each date, I will give you, if it's green, a lucky alignment, if it's red, like cautious beware, and also where the retrogrades are happening and other astro weather events like the new and the full moon. So this is going to be a very thorough, comprehensive month ahead forecast specific for you, and also help you plan strategically to be in alignment with the astro weathers. Now, even though I don't do rising sign horoscopes, I do want to remind you that based on your rising sign, you're going to be particularly listening for your primary life coach. If you're new to me and new to relational astrology, which is the unique method that I've created to understand astrology and use it in our favor to have the best relationships with ourselves and the people around us, and specifically to our planets, you want to make sure that you listen up for your primary life coach. That is the planet that rules your rising sign. I know if you're new to astrology and this astro weather chat, it can be a little complex because we're going to talk about all the planets, and there's so many transits and so many things going on that sometimes my clients go, I don't even know what to focus on anymore. I don't even know where to begin. You always listen up the most and always begin with your primary life coach. If you don't know who that is, I'm going to quickly here pull up the graph, look for your rising sign, then you're going to listen up, pay extra special attention to the planet that is listed next to your rising sign. And make sure you grab your astrology alchemy journal for those of you who have it. If you don't have it, what it is my journal I create every single year to help you align with the cosmic weather. It is not just a planner, it's not just a journal. It is an interactive guide on how you can live in alignment with the cosmos. But even more important than that, it is a memory bank, because there are journal prompts for you to fill out. And these journal prompts are going to create memories. So when the astro weather repeats itself, like when we get this month to the full moon in Aquarius, you can go back to last year's journal and be like, what was going on during the full moon in Aquarius last year? And I can reflect and see how that area of my life might be impacted again. And I can see how far I've come. And during retrogrades, you can go back and review what your mindset was like, what was going on in your life at the beginning of that retrograde versus what you've reflected on, what you've reanalyzed. And so it's just such a beautiful way. Again, the art of living your chart. I have a PDF copy. If you want to download it right away, you can find that in the description box. I still have some physical copies at a discounted rate to send them out to you as well if you prefer something physical to touch and write in. So with all of that, let's get into August 2025. Grab your astrology alchemy journal, grab your birth chart, grab your calendar, pull up your Google Calendar, and let's get into it. Okay, as we get into the astrology of August 2025, we are going to map it out on the chart. So if you have your birth chart handy, you may want to grab a couple different colored crayons, colored pencils. You may just want to take some notes. We are going to highlight on this map here where the planets are moving from the 1st of August all the way to the 31st of August. I'm also going to give you some dates, which will go into more specific within the Google Calendar coming up next, but also want you to kind of understand the overlying energy, the overlying theme of the month ahead. So first and foremost, with August, we have a couple speed bumps in the road. Right off the bat, we're going to have a couple speed bumps when we get to the full moon on the 9th, full on speed bump. It is going to be an illumination point. And then when we get to the end of the month, a little bit more course correcting that is necessary. Also recognizing that August, we are preparing for eclipse season. The new moon of this month is a new moon in Virgo. That is going to prepare us for the second new moon in Virgo, which is very rare. It is rare for us to get two new moons in the exact same area of our birth chart, the exact same house. And so when that second new moon rolls around, we call it a black moon when it's a new moon, or a blue moon if it's a full moon. So it's like once in a blue moon, right? Once in a while, do we get a second opportunity for a new beginning in the same area of our chart? And that second one will be in the following month in September as an eclipse, even more potent. So really pay attention when we talk about the new moon this month. Big, big deal. We have lots of planets retrograding as we move into August. We've got 5 planets in retrograde. As we pick up steam and move into September and October, we are going to compile that with a few more planets retrograde. So definitely things that we want to be aware of for the month ahead. So with that, let's go ahead and get started and talk about where all the planets are going to be in the sky. So I always like to start out with the sun. We can see the sun right here in the zodiac energy of Leo as we begin the month at 9 degrees of Leo, 9 days into Leo sun season, coming out of that Mercury sun cazimi. So that went exact on the last day of July on the 31st. But as we move into August 1st, this energy is still very potent. Mercury is retrograding back to 4 degrees of Leo. The sun is moving forward on its path through Leo, heading towards Virgo. So as the sun is moving this month, it will start out at 9 degrees of Leo and is going to end at 7 degrees of Virgo. So on your birth chart, just find these little hash marks, go from 9 degrees of the sun sign of Leo to 7 degrees of Virgo. Do you have any planets in that area of the sky? If you do, then that means that the sun is going to activate that part of your chart. It's going to activate that energy within you. Now, my birthday is August 31st, so that means I was born with a Virgo sun at 7 degrees. So as we end this month, I will be ending it in my solar return. So ending it with the sun on my sun, activating my core, my personality, my preferences. Maybe the sun will be activating your Venus. If you have a Venus in this area of the sky, that is going to activate your feminine energy and what you love to receive and what you find beautiful and what you prioritize, and et cetera, for all the planets. Now let's get into the lunations of the month. So we are going to have a full moon on August 9th. This is going to be a very important, very potent full moon. It is going to be happening at 16 degrees of Leo. So the sun will make it to 16 degrees of Leo, and directly opposite in the sky, we are going to have the moon full and bright at 16 degrees of Aquarius. So you want to check your birth chart. Do you have any planets near 14, 15, 16, 17-ish degrees of Leo or Aquarius? If so, this full moon is going to impact you directly. Now, this is going to be very important because at that time, we are going to have Pluto activated. We're going to have Mars activated, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, all the outer planets will be activated. We'll talk a lot more about that coming up shortly, but know it's a very big and powerful full moon for change, for insights, for inspiration, for innovation, for choosing a new path, for making a new decision, for connecting with new people. It is going to highlight, illuminate, full moons illuminate the Aquarian energy, which is about being authentic, which is being untraditional, which is being unconventional, which is trying to do things in a way that hasn't been done before because it's time to move into the future. So sudden insights and breakthroughs and epiphanies and connections with other people and new ideas being birthed so we can move on to the future. Big, potent energy. Then we are going to move into the new moon. That new moon is on August 23rd, and that new moon is going to be in Virgo, specifically at 0 degrees of Virgo. This is a super important degree. So we are drawing this as a star because it really is a highlight in the sky. 0 degrees of Virgo is a cardinal point. It is the beginning of an energy. And this is a new moon that is going to be followed up with a second new moon in September at 29 degrees of Virgo. So look to the Virgo area of your chart. Not only will we be in Virgo sun season as of the 22nd of August, where the sun is going to shine a spotlight upon that Virgo area of your life, where you should be looking at it clearly, where you should be focusing your energy, focusing your attention. Think of the sun as a spotlight, spotlighting itself into the Virgo area of your life, starting on August 22nd into September. But you're going to have the new moon there, which is going to be a potential, a portal, a pocket of energy to birth something new in that area of your life. And having a very intentional decision about what that new could be. But also knowing that you're going to have a second new moon there in September as an eclipse, where a fated redirection, a fated new chapter could be opening that is beyond your control, that is externally happening to you to get you in alignment with your true path. And so there's just so much going on in this Virgo area of your chart. So that new moon is definitely one you want to be focusing on. And make sure to put a little note in your calendar on that new moon on August 23rd to go fill out your journal prompts in your Astrology Alchemy journal. Using that journal is designed to help you create a memory bank of what is going on in your life. That's where the journal prompts come in during those astro weather events. So you can go back and reflect back when those energies repeat themselves. So just know new moon and full moon this month, very, very important. And it is opening up the energy for eclipse season. As soon as we have that new moon on the 23rd, the following lunation at the beginning of September will be an eclipse. And the following new moon in the exact same zodiac sign is also going to be an eclipse. So we are moving and brewing into the ecliptic portal. Now, moving on from the sun and the moon, moving into Mercury. So listen up, my Gemini risings, my Virgo risings, your primary life coach. Mercury has been on the move and a retrograde. So for all of us, we can look to the Leo area of our chart. This is where Mercury has been retrograding. And so as we begin the month of August, he is at 8 degrees of Leo, and he is going to retrograde back to 4 degrees of Leo. And then from that point, he is going to pick up steam again and go from 4 degrees all the way to 25 degrees of Leo. And so at the end of the month on the 31st, he'll be ending it at 25 degrees of Leo. So do you have any planets from 5 degrees of Leo to 25 degrees of Leo? Pretty much if you have any Leo placements, there is a good possibility that Mercury will cross over that point in the sky this month for you. Now, remember, when he gets to 15 degrees of Leo on the 25th of August, this is where he's coming out of his retrograde energy. He ends his retrograde this month on the 11th, and then he will end his retrograde activity crossing over into new territory as of August 25th. So just the last 6 days of the month, we're going to be out of Mercury retrograde energy. We are moving forward. We are communicating and buying and connecting and texting and all the mercurial things in a new, fresh way. So lots for us to still unpack with this Mercury retrograde. We are just halfway done as we start out August. On the 1st of August, we just went through the Mercury Sun Cazimi, the halfway point. And now we have some direction, some epiphany, some understanding. Somebody got back to us. Somebody answered our text, our email. There's a contract on the table for us to review, to reanalyze, to re-edit. We're going back through the Leo area of our chart and revisiting old connections and conversations and old friendships. We are redoing something until the 11th when we are like, oh, so good. I got it done. Let's move forward. So that's Mercury this month. Then let's move on to Venus. So my Taurus and my Libra risings, definitely pay attention. We are going to talk about your primary life coach. But for all of us, remember that Venus symbolizes what we love, what we value, what we prioritize, how we show up in our relationships, how we attract and magnetize things to us, how we embrace the feminine flow within all of us. And how we do that, the how is the zodiac energy she's visiting. And so this is a really, really exciting month for Venus. As we start out August, she is at 1 degrees of Cancer. And so she is going to move this month from 1 degrees of Cancer all the way through the rest of that zodiac sign to 6 degrees of Leo. So this is beautiful because as you can see, as she starts out her journey in Cancer, she is going to run into Jupiter. We love this energy, happens once a year. The two benefics, the two beautiful planets, the two planets that bless us in the sky are going to get together. Jupiter expands. It brings opportunity. It brings growth. It brings abundance. It brings luck and ease and flow and prosperity. And Venus attracts and magnetizes. And Venus is what we love. And Venus is our material possessions and our money and relationships and things into our life that make us feel loved. And things that we love get attracted towards us. And so these two planets are coming together on August 12th. A very beautiful, lucky alignment, a juicy, juicy energy. And also they are in the energy of Cancer. And so really attracting and magnetizing Cancerian things to us, nurturing, mothering figures, self-love, self-care, family, home. If you are looking to buy a home, move a home, renovate your home, update your home, make your home beautiful and pleasurable. All these things are possible with the expansion and growth of Jupiter. Money and finances are possible this month. But before that happens, as we kick off the month of August, Venus is in a square to Saturn and Neptune. Okay. 1 degrees of Cancer, 4 zodiac signs away from Aries. We see Saturn and Neptune here at 1 degrees of Aries. And so, what this essentially means is Venus, when she enters into Cancer, and we talked all about this in the Astro Weather Report. So, if this is kind of surface level for you and you want more details and you want to know exactly how to work with this energy, that's what the Astro Weather Telegram is for, where I give you the voice memo on the day of or the day before, because watching a video like this, it's complex. There's a lot to this. I can't talk about each one of these things for 10 minutes or we'd be here for 5 hours. And also, you're not going to remember it. So in the Astro Weather Report on Telegram, I send our Astro family a voice memo and go into the details and how to work with this energy and what to do and where to look in your chart. And so come hop over there with us if you really like this stuff, but you want to know exactly what to do with it. And we had an entire convo understanding this Venus square Saturn Neptune energy, because Saturn and Neptune is the dream. It's an Aries. It's a new beginning. It's a new fresh start. There's something in our life that we are trying to move forward on, that we are going to do differently. A new relationship, a new career, a new business adventure. Maybe it's something with our body. We want to do something new because the past hasn't been working. And Venus in Cancer is a love. Venus is what we love. It's what we value. It's what we prioritize, the past. So this entire month, as she is in Cancer until the 25th, we are going to love going down memory lane. We are going to love connecting with family and friends. We are going to value and prioritize things that make us feel safe and comfortable. We are going to appreciate our home. We are going to attract things into our home. But right away, at the beginning of this month, she is getting halted, getting squared, getting T-boned by Saturn, who's like, hold on a second. I thought we were building this new dream. I thought we wanted new energy in this relationship. I thought we wanted new boundaries in this relationship. I thought we wanted new friends. I thought we wanted new. Remember, new. We are working for new. And Neptune is the dream, the vision, the belief, the faith, the hope, the optimism that it's possible. But Venus is now stuck in the past. And so maybe you're going down memory lane instead of looking forward. Maybe you're being pulled back to old friendships or reconnecting with people from the past, hoping they're different. But Saturn is like, they're not different, because what's different is in the unknown. It's about a new path. And so there's like this little check-in right away where Saturn's like, okay, you can go down memory lane, but don't get stuck back there. You can reconnect with old friends, but don't forget, new friends are going to help you grow and expand. So there's a check-in, and there's so much more to this, but just know this is kind of how we're kicking off the month. And then we get more into that Venusian, Cancerian energy, the blessing and the opportunity, because maybe we make a hard decision to cut away from that relationship or cut away from those friends, or there's a roadblock and it's like, all right, let's just take a step back. And then boom, new friends come in, boom, a new relationship comes in. Like, it's so quick and instant as Venus runs into Jupiter on the 12th of this month. Super potent energy. And then she is going to move into Leo, like I said, on the 26th. And we are going to end this month with Venus in Leo, which is a vibe shift. We love fun. We love joy. We love creativity. We love play. We love going to concerts. We love going to performing art shows. We love that Leo lion energy of being bold and dressing with really intense fashion. I can't wait to see the social media trends that come out when Venus moves into Leo at the end of the month and into eclipse season. It's gonna be really, really cool to see on a collective level. Then let's move on. Let's move into Mars. So my Aries risings, my Scorpio risings, listen up. This is your primary life coach, very important energy. But for all of us, Mars tells us where to take action, where to make moves, where to invest our energy, where we need to strategize. Mars visits an area of your life for 6 weeks every 2 years. And so it's not often. And so when he gets into an area of our life, we have to be direct. If we want to live in alignment with our chart, the art of living our chart, we need to know where Mars is so we can focus most of our energy there. We can exert our masculine into that. We can move that area of life forward as Mars is in the left lane, driving us to the next destination in that area of our life. And he has been in July in the Virgo area of our life. And not only that, but he's been helping us cut away some things as he crossed the South Node. But we're wrapping that up this month. And for the first 6 days, he will still be in Virgo. So he starts out the month at 26 degrees of Virgo. And he is going to end the month at 15 degrees of Libra, halfway through Libra. So we're still cutting away and we're still making decisions and we're still moving forward and we're investing our energy into the Virgo area of our life until the 6th of August. And on the 6th of August, that energy is going to switch. And now you are going to invest your Mars into the Libra area of your life. And you're going to be doing that for the rest of the month of August. And this is so beautiful because now how we take action, how we invest our energy, how we move forward, how we make decisions, the how is the zodiac sign. Remember, how we're going to do it is we're going to do it in a Libra way. We're going to do it in a way that is just, that is fair, that is balanced, that is considerate of others, that is creating peace, that is in the direction of harmony, that is balancing out the scales. We are getting back into rhythm, into equilibrium, into the yin, into the yang, and we're making decisions to course correct things in our life that are way out of balance, way out of alignment, especially in the area of life that Libra rules for you. Okay, very important energy to understand. So I love this. However, Mars this month of all the planets is the star of the show. Okay, the one that is the main character this month is Mars, because Mars is taking so much action. And what I mean by that is as soon as Mars gets to 1 degree of Libra, okay, what is opposite of Libra? Aries. And what is hanging out at about 1 degree of Aries? Saturn and Neptune. Saturn opposite Mars, eek, right? Saturn says, stop, hold up, crossing guard energy. And Mars is trying to ram through the barricade, right? Mars is trying to get in the left lane. And it's like, oh, another roadblock, another construction zone, another thing. It's like we're trying to move forward in our life with the e-brake on. Like we're not getting anywhere. And Saturn's retrograde. So right now it's like this performance review of how well you are slowing down, following the speed limit, checking in on the map and making sure you are going in the direction that you actually want to go. And you're being committed to the journey and not just the destination. And you're enjoying the ride along the way. And Neptune is the dream. And sometimes Neptune is the water. So it's like, it's hydroplaning, there's water on the street, there's a construction zone, there's potholes, you're bumping in the potholes. You didn't know there was a pothole there because there was water covering the pothole. And it's like, now you get a flat tire and now you got to get off the highway and you got to get back into balance, right? Libra energy is like, we were going too fast. We weren't balancing the yin and the yang. Like right now it's raining, so we need to slow down. But when we get to the other side of the storm, further down the highway, we can pick up speed again. There is a time and a place to slow down. There's a time and a place to follow the rules. There's time and a place for everything, right? That's this energy for the month. It's like with our energy, our masculine, our exertion, it's like a yin and a yang. We don't need to be full gas pedal all the time. And so when this energy transpires around the 8th and the 9th of this month, we got to be careful. We could be accident prone. There could be roadblocks in our life. There could be obstacles. There could be challenges where Saturn's like, stop. Are you following the rules? Are you following the procedures? Are you committed to this? Are you sure you actually want to go to this destination? Or are you just going because you signed up to go, but now you really maybe don't want to go? Maybe you want to go somewhere else. There's a check-in moment. And not only that, but Mars, as he is talking to Saturn and Neptune at 1 degree, he's also going to be talking to Pluto. So we are going to have a Mars-Pluto conversation. And that is going to be right around the time of that full moon. Like I said, that full moon is very potent because that full moon is where Pluto is. And Mars is going to be conversing with Pluto at that time, a trine. This is about rocket fuel, power, Pluto, passion, moving forward in a big way, taking control. And he's in an air sign, and Pluto's in an air sign. And guess who else is in an air sign? Uranus. Uranus over here in Gemini, also at about 1 degree. So we are literally going to create this grand air trine with Mars's involvement. Air, air, air. Air does what? Air communicates, air connects. Air has ideas, inspiration. It's collaboration. It's moving forward. It's innovation. Pluto is stepping into your power. Uranus is being unconventional and doing it in a different way. And Mars is like, take action. Take action. And this is literally all going down between like the 7th and like the 16th, middle of the month, like a whole week with a full moon baked. Like that's literally when the full moon is baked into that energy. And Saturn and Neptune are like, wait, hold on. We just want to make sure this is actually where we want to go. And we want to proceed with caution, but we want to have belief and faith and vision that the dream is actually going to be possible. And we're taking steps towards it. But let's take the rose-colored glasses off and make sure that we're seeing everything clearly. Let's make sure we wait till the rain passes, till the fog lifts. Let's make sure that we know every detail that is going on here. We're not being delusional. and big things can happen. We're going to talk so much more about this, obviously, in the Astro Weather Report. That's what we do. And obviously, this is going to be all baked into the full moon. So there is something that needs to be highlighted and a course correction and a release that needs to happen so we can get to the dream, so we can get to the destination of where we actually want to go and not necessarily what we signed up before. So Mars is the key player this month. Mars is taking massive action. It's going to be so important for all of us to see that. And those of you ruled by Mars, you're going to feel this the most. Okay, huge energy right here. So check your birth chart. Mars is going to be from 26 degrees of Virgo to 15 degrees of Libra on his journey there in the middle of the month. He is making some moves. Okay. Now let's get back to Jupiter. We love some Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter is all about blessing and opportunity and expansion and growth. And he is over in the Cancer area of our chart. So if you're in our Telegram, don't forget about our Jupiter Sun Season Challenge. Every single month for all the sun seasons, we do a little challenge to tap into the astro weather, to work with it and align with it. And right now we have a Jupiter challenge to receive blessing and expansion and growth and opportunity. Super important for us this month as we have Venus participating in this energy, making it even more beautiful, making it even more pleasurable. And for those of you not in it, it is a bingo card. We are playing the game of bingo, and it's a nostalgia summer bingo season. So we are doing things like playing with sidewalk chalk, running through the rain, having a bonfire. Like there's a whole bingo card and people are checking it off. And as they check it off, they know that they are embracing this Cancerian energy of the past and nostalgia and home and what feels safe and comfortable. And Jupiter is going to bring the blessing as we lean into that Cancer energy. And now Venus is going to help make it beautiful and pleasurable. So all of that in the Telegram. Just want to highlight that here if you want to come play along with us. Jupiter this month is moving from 11 degrees to 17 degrees of Cancer. So check your birth chart. If you have anything between 11 and 17 degrees, when he gets to 12 degrees, that's where Venus is going to meet up with him. So if you have anything at about 12 degrees of Cancer, lucky freaking you, with the benefic planets hitting that spot in your birth chart, aka your energetic body, and activating that part of yourself to bring blessings and receive beautiful things. Now let's move into Saturn. We know Saturn is our tough love dad. So every time we talk about Saturn, it's like, listen, we've got to grow. We've got to mature. He's going to be here to teach us tough lessons. It is what it is, and we can handle it. Saturn is over here in Aries, okay? Remember, Astro family, if you're in the Telegram, listen up. This is our final month of Saturn being in Aries, and our performance review ends on September 1st. Okay, for all of us, we have had Saturn in Aries for the first time in 30 years since May 23rd. And he's coming in, tippy-toeing in and saying, hey, let me review this area of life. How committed, how disciplined, how strong is your foundation? How mature are you being? Are you doing the things you need to do? And if not, on September 1st, when I go back into Pisces, I'm writing up your performance review. And I will be back as Lord Karma to serve you the karma, the reward or the punishment for how well you did and how well you are doing in this area of your life around your commitments and your boundaries and the structure you have. And how much do I need to teach you when I come back on Valentine's Day of 2026? So this is our final month for our 99-day Saturn challenge, which again, we're doing in the Astro Weather Report. I gave everyone ChatGPT prompts on how to figure out where this is happening in your chart and exactly what checklist you need to be accomplishing before Saturn goes back into Pisces on September 1st. So he is starting out the month at 1 degrees and about 38 minutes. And he's going to go back to 29 degrees of Pisces by September 1st. So get on it, my Astro family. We can show our tough love dad that we got this and we will nail that performance review. Now, Uranus, on the other hand, remember we talked about Uranus a little bit earlier. Uranus is over here in the zodiac energy of Gemini, right? And as he's in the zodiac energy of Gemini, he is new here. He just got here on July 9th. And he is going to be here for a short period of time until November and retrograde back until April of next year, where he'll come into Gemini and come shake up that area of your life full time for 7 years. This is just the preview. So this month, he is going to be involved in this grand trine. He is also going to be having conversations over here with Saturn, the conversation with Pluto. This is going to also kind of be what we call the kite formation in the sky this month. So a very potent energy that is brewing. You can see the potency that is building by just looking at this chart for the month of August. Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Mars, like these planets do big things. There are master teachers. There are generational planets. They shift collective consciousness. They shift countries. They shift our whole vibration. August is that month. Super potent. And Uranus is, remember, choose, change, change, move to the future, disrupt, innovate, be unconventional, think outside the box, don't follow the structure, don't follow the rules, do things differently. And Uranus rules the full moon. Okay. He rules Aquarius. And so does Saturn. So these two planets are going to be fusing their energy around this time in this kite formation and also in control of the full moon. Very potent energy. So Uranus isn't making a lot of moves this month. He's literally going from 0 degrees of Gemini to 1 degrees. So if you have anything in the first couple degrees of Gemini, you are going through some Uranus energy right now, shaking you up. Bless you. Just know there is going to be a round 2 when he retrogrades and a round 3 when he comes back next year in April. And then let's talk quickly about Neptune. We're kind of getting to the tail end here. Neptune trailing right behind Saturn as they are literally like two little ants following their path, retrograding back in towards Pisces, side by side. Neptune this month is literally 1 degrees and 58 minutes to 1 degrees and 23 minutes. So if you have anything around 1 degrees of Aries, that's where Saturn and Neptune are co-fusing. Again, they will be back for round 2 around Valentine's Day of next year. And we already kind of talked about Neptune as he is retrograde. He rips those rose-colored glasses off. He is helping you see things clearly, to take things off of pedestals, to rework the dream, the vision, to have clear vision, 2020 vision of the goals and the dreams of what you want to accomplish in your life. Pluto this month, we already kind of highlighted Pluto over here in Aquarius in the same area of the sky where the full moon is going to be. Now, also knowing that Pluto is retrograde, he's going to retrograde from 2 degrees of Aquarius back to about 1 degrees of Aquarius. So again, any planets that you might have at like 1 degrees of pretty much any sign is getting some activation this month. And that is so important to understand because 1 is the number of beginning, of leaders, of activations, of starting new things. And so we have so many 1 energy, Mars at 1, Pluto around 1, Neptune at 1, Saturn at 1, Uranus going into 1, 1, 1, 1. The sun gets into 1 degrees of Virgo. Mercury is going to move towards 1 degrees of Virgo. We are going to have Venus at 1 degrees of Leo. Like we got 1s all around this month. 1 begins things. 1 takes action, right? 1, 1, 1, 1, like dreams and wishes are possible. Love this energy this month. Going to wrap it up with the North and the South node, right? The North and the South node are fate and destiny. They are the ones that are responsible for causing the eclipses. Eclipses are portals in and out of our life, eclipsing things in, eclipsing things out, redirecting us in a fated path that our soul lined up for. If we are out of alignment, the eclipses bring us back to where we need to be. It's the one time in astrology that we consider our hands off the wheel, and life will redirect us as needed, depending on how far we are off that path. And so we have the North and the South node. We know this since January 11th, 111, in Pisces, in Virgo. And so these energies are moving backwards from 19 degrees back to 18 degrees of Virgo and 19 to 18 degrees of Pisces. So check your chart. Do you have anything in those areas of the sky? If you do, the North node might draw in newness to that area, newness into that aspect of yourself. And the South node is cutting, releasing like a vacuum, sucking things off the Virgo area of your life that no longer serves you in this cycle and season that you're moving into. Potent energy, because again, we are going to have a new moon in Virgo and a second new moon in Virgo. That will be the eclipse. So we are brewing and stewing in that ecliptic energy. Last thing that we're going to tap into is our Chiron energy, who is also over here in Aries. Chiron just started his retrograde at the end of July. So he is moving backwards from 27 to 26 degrees of Aries. This makes all 3 planets in Aries in August, Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, all retrograde. Aries area of your chart is under review. Saturn's 99-day challenge, his performance review, Neptune helping you rework the dream, rework the vision, the next stage, the next step, take it to the next level, and Chiron helping you heal any wounds. If you have your astrology alchemy journal, I said this in the Astro Weather Report, and I was so serious. They could tell my tone was so different than it normally is. you need to go to the Chiron retrograde page and truly understand the importance of a Chiron retrograde, because this is revisiting old wounds, healing old traumas, going back to things that you shoved under the surface because you couldn't process them in the moment that they got triggered, that they got irritated, that they got stimulated. And this is important because, again, Chiron is helping you heal wounds in the Aries area of your life, which is the area of life that Saturn and Neptune are helping you try to build a new dream on. They're trying to manifest things. They are trying to create a runway for your optimal dreams and reality to land. But if you got these Chiron wounds here in the same area of your chart, that's going to really clog up the runway for new beautiful things to land in this area of your life. So this is a very important retrograde for all of us. So page 64 and 65, okay? And fill out those journal prompts. Again, the journal prompts are designed to create a memory bank for what is going on in your life during certain seasons of the astrology, because things circle back, things repeat, things get reactivated. Now you can go back and be like, oh, that's what was going on then. So you're going to fill out those journal prompts when the retrograde begins, halfway through the retrograde, which I have the date in the calendar for you, and at the end of the retrograde, so you can see how much you've grown, right? That's the whole point of using astrology in our favor, to see the evolution of who we are. So that is a summary of August 2025 in alignment with your chart. So hopefully you've drawn all over your chart. You see the areas of life that are activated. You understand how you're going to take action, what you're going to value, where you're going to have new beginnings, the new moons, where you're going to release the full moons, where we're learning our 99-day Saturn challenge so we can nail that performance review, where we're going to find some blessing, expansion, and growth in the Cancer area of your chart, and so much more. And now let's move over to the Google Calendar. So you can put your birth chart on the side. Let's get out your calendar. So whether you already have a calendar with dates and events and things planned for the month ahead, great. Or if you want to follow along with me on my Google Calendar, let me switch screens here, and you're going to be able to follow along with me exactly how I fill out this calendar. Now, this is where it gets good, where it gets juicy. Obviously, we dive in so much more in the astro weather report day by day, so you're not overwhelmed and you get the info when you need it. Now, you can see here from last month, what I do is I color code it for you so you can see energetically what we're going to be feeling and experiencing. Now, I already activated the Venus and the Venus square, Neptune, Venus square Saturn for August 1st. Now, I made them orange because it's kind of like a caution energy. We can work with this energy. We know that there's going to be a roadblock. We know there's going to be some kind of restructuring. We know that this deals with our relationships, Venus, our finances, Venus. Also, this is not a great time to take a risk, to take an investment. You might get scammed. There might be some things below the surface that you didn't see. Remember, there's like that pothole with Saturn. There's a pothole, and Neptune is like the fog and the haze, and you didn't quite see it coming. So we do want to be very cautious and careful with this energy. And again, if you are joining us in the Astro Weather Report, everything is bingeable. So you can go back to this voice memo. It was about 7-8 minutes long, really breaking down this energy. And it's also great if the time has passed to go back and reflect. A lot of our Astro Weather family members don't catch all the voice memos, but they like to go back and be like, oh yeah, last week, that makes sense. This happened. This is why that happened. It brings clarity and awareness. So honestly, as we start off August, Venus new into Cancer, love that energy. It's kind of like an energy of like creating disruption in our partnerships so we can reassess things, we can get on track, we can make sure that we're in alignment with the people in our life, redirection of energy. But then we get a little break. Like we kind of get our bearings in the first week of August because what's coming the second and third week is like mind blown. So thank God for that. But then the next astro weather event does not happen until the 6th. And on that day, we are going to have Mars move into Libra, going to be in Libra until September 21st. And so anytime we have what we call a transit, when a planet transits or visits from one place in the sky to another, I always make that purple. That way we can see when a certain area of our life is going to be shifting. So we know now that Mars tells us to take action. He's been telling us to take action in the Virgo area of our chart. And as of the 6th, we are going to take action now in the Libra area of our chart. Okay. And how we're going to do that again is by fighting for justice, fairness. We are going to bring things back into balance, invest our energy in things that redirect our life, that make our life more beautiful and harmonious. We're going to invest energy into collaborations and partnerships. And he's opposite from his home in Aries, furthest from home. So he's got to do things in a Venus way, in a Venusian way, with more flow and harmony and balance. Then we move into 8-8. Now, 8-8 is like the Lionsgate portal. I'm not going to dive too much into that here, as I really want to focus more on the astrology, but this is where the sun gets into that 8-8 portal. And on that day, we're going to have two astro weather events. And this is where we get into the terrain, the speed bumps, the scary weather, the storm, the lightning bolts. Like, it is getting wild on the road. So we just need to be very cautious and careful. This is where we start to get very accident prone this time of the month, especially if we're not following rules, we're not following procedures, we're not making sure that the foundations are stable before we go into that carnival ride or into that building. We don't want to rush things right now. Want to be very cautious and careful. Now, the first thing that we have going on this day is Mars is going to trine Uranus. Okay, he's going to trine from Libra. Now we know he's in Libra to Uranus in Gemini. Okay, this is happening it's happening around 1 degree. Okay, we know that. And at that exact same time, the exact same date, Mars will also be opposing Saturn. Okay, also in that 1 degree territory of Libra and Aries. We showed that on the chart, right? That's why I love to go into that chart. And we know that this is a full force red day. Okay, it's going to be red. And going back to Mars trining Uranus, I'm going to make this orange because, again, it's like it could go either way. It could be very favorable for us, as Mars is like, take action that's unconventional, do things out of the norm, be innovative. Like, this is great sudden breakthroughs, really exciting energy, but it can also be that accident prone energy. Anytime Mars and Uranus, it's like volatile, it's unexpected, it's left field, like someone T-bones you out of nowhere, or this whole thing happens and you're like, where did that just come from? But Uranus is like, we got to choose change, we got to do it differently. I've been telling you, don't make me burn your house down so that you finally move to that country or place that you've been wanting to go. Don't make me do it. So there's like a decision that we have to make, Mars, based on the shakeup that Uranus is bringing. And he's opposite Saturn. And Saturn's like our tough love dad who's like, I told you to follow the rules. I told you to make sure you unplugged your curling iron. I told you to slow down. I told you there was a storm ahead. So this day is like, eek, okay. We just know that we might feel irritable. We could be bumping against things, bumping against the wall. There's resentment. This is frustration. There's avoidance. Like, it is a potent energy. So we just want to be cautious. We'll talk so much more about it in the Astro Weather Report as that energy starts coming in hot. Now, right after that, when Mars is talking to Saturn, he's talking to Neptune. Anytime a planet is talking to Saturn this month, he's talking to Neptune. Like, they're like buddies, right? It's like, here's my buddy Saturn. Here's my buddy Neptune. You talk to me, you talk to him, right? Because they're together in the sky. Mars is going to then oppose Neptune, also at that 1 degree of Aries and Libra axis, right? And this is an energy that we also, orange, need to pay attention to, because Mars, again, is like, I'm trying to make moves. I'm just trying to create fairness and peace and balance in my life. I'm just trying to be harmonious. I'm fighting for justice. I'm fighting for fairness. And Neptune is like, well, what you missing? What's below the surface? What is the unseen? This Mars is heat. Mars is warrior. Mars is fighting. Neptune is illnesses, hidden illnesses often. So like infections brewing up below the surface, fevers, things like the lymphatic system, inflammation kind of showing up, things that have been like brewing for a long time come to a head. Like Mars is the head. So things like come to a head. It's like this, you've been sick for a while, but like you haven't gotten it addressed. And now all of a sudden it turns into a full force infection, right? So be very cautious. We want to get definitely the health house in order, as Neptune and Saturn are in Aries, and Aries deals with the physical body. But just know this could come to full force potency, because while this is all happening, this is when we have the Aquarius full moon, like I mentioned. And that Aquarius full moon is happening at 16 degrees of Aquarius and Leo. This is going to be yellow because anytime we have a lunation, it is yellow. So we can see the full and the new moon of the month. You can see how this is going to be a very potent energy. Uranus and Saturn rule this full moon. And Mars is in a conversation with both of those planets, and full moons ask us to release and let go. Luckily, Aquarius energy is detached. Okay, so we're not going to be super emotional around this time, but there is a lot of fire and a lot of air. And fire and air is the opposite of water. So we're not going to be emotional. We're going to be passionate. We are going to feel heated. We are going to feel intense. And we are going to emotionally detach in order to use that fire, the forest fire, the blazing fire within us, to pour fuel on it, to pour air into it, to breathe life into it, to detach from the past, to make moves, to release and let go of what doesn't serve, to move into the future, Uranus, Aquarius, innovate in a new way, Aries, Saturn, Neptune energy of a new path. So that's potent. And then literally baked into this entire weekend is when we have the Mars in a trine to Pluto, where Pluto is like, hey, I'm over here in Aquarius. I want to say, I got something to say. And what I got to say is the fact that we are going to step into our power and we are going to take control and we are going to dig deep and we are going to reveal things and we're going to address our fears and our vulnerabilities and all that stuff that holds us back. All that stuff that holds us back. Yeah, we are going to do something about it because we are going to go into the unknown. We are going to dig even deeper than ever before. It's like rocket fuel. That is how Pluto acts, pushing through powerful momentum of control and strategy. You put Mars and Pluto together, that is Scorpio. That is scorpionic. That is depth. That is strategic. That is investigative. That is the super fueled energy. So look at this weekend. Like, holy moly, this is not a weekend on my calendar that I would be like really going out in public, planning a bunch of things, wanting to hang out with a bunch of people. We just want to like be aware, just eyes open, be aware of what is going on in the collective. And there could be a lot of heat and accidents. And I'm going to be home. Literally, I cannot wait to just tuck myself into bed over that weekend. Then on the 11th, Mercury retrograde ends. Woohoo! It's going to end at 4 degrees of Leo. So check that area of your chart. Know that this Leo area of your chart is no longer under review. We always make our retrogrades this bright blue color so we know when retrogrades are starting or ending. Now, on that day as well, we are going to have the Saturn sextile Uranus energy. Now we add Saturn and Uranus together. What do we get? We get the vibration of Aquarius, where we are going to create new paths and new structures and new routines and new businesses and be unconventional. It's like the Einstein energy, right? We're going to create electricity when everyone did not believe electricity could exist. Very potent energy. Fire, air. Saturn and Aries, fire. Uranus and Gemini, air. Fire and air together is a blazing forest fire. It blows things up. It is happening at 1 degrees on the 11th. So 1, 1, 1, 1. All about taking action, innovation, new things. I love it. This is going to get a green energy because I think we can have downloads and inspiration and forging new projects and new inventions and new technology and just a whole new way of doing life. And I really see us coming out of all this crazy energy with that, where it's like, this is it. I've got to the breakthrough. I'm choosing change. I feel good about it. Saturn's going to give me the structure and we're going to do it in a new way, in an Aries way. And then on the 12th is the lucky Jupiter Venus conjunction. And this is beautiful. It is the benefic day of the year, fusing in luck and blessing, expansion and growth and prosperity and Venus's beauty and love and another green. This is what it's all for. Those tough decisions, those experiences that are coming through, the things that we have to release, all this action that's happening and it's like chaos and it's like, I got to choose change. But if I choose change and I break up with this person, I'm going to be alone. No, you're not. Boom. A few days later, Venus-Jupiter conjunction, blessing. Okay, I'm going to spend a bunch of money on this thing that I need for my business and I'm so scared. Venus, boom, money comes back. It's almost like a rebound, like a really quick rebound, but you have to be brave. Aries, be the warrior, take action, move forward in an unconventional way, and know that you are building your dreams of Saturn and Neptune. Like this is where it's all going. I love this energy. I'm so excited to see how it unfolds for so many people. Check your chart. You know, this is like even though I'm talking about collective, please remember that it's personalized to you. Not everyone is going to have a beautiful, productive energy. But you can tap in, you can look for it, you can work with it. The potential is always there for everybody as it is in the cosmic universe. Now on the 14th, Mercury is going to sextile Mars. Mercury is out of his retrograde, so he's kind of moving forward. He's at 5 degrees. And he's going to be from Leo and Mars is over there in Libra. So fire and air again, fusing together. We love this energy. Now I'm going to keep this neutral because it's a sextile and it's not always obvious. But Mars is taking action. Libra, to negotiate, to create peace, to create harmony. And Mercury is the mind and communication. So we could be negotiating things. Great day to make a compelling case, to fight for something that you want, to ask for someone to help you, to ask for a collaboration. This is a great day for business deals, for taking risks, for big meetings, for being seen as an authority. Your mind might be really sharp. Like you might be praising yourself. You might be cheerleading yourself. You might just be a little bit more bold and blunt, right? That Leo energy of like, roar, I'm amazing. Don't you want to do a deal with me? This is the best deal you're ever going to get. Like you're going in a little bit more confident, which has been this entire Mercury retrograde, to rewire your confidence. Okay. Love it. And then on the 15th, we're going to have Venus in a trine to the North Node. We love this energy because Venus, again, is our relationships, what we prioritize, what we value, what we find beautiful, what we find pleasurable. And the North Node draws us towards the next chapter, the next stage, brings in fated and destined things. So it could be fated and destined financial opportunities, fated and destined relationships. It's piggybacking off that Venus conjunct Jupiter energy. Jupiter is going to have a conversation with the North Node soon. So Venus is kind of warming that all up for more blessings. And again, we made it through this. So on the other side, there is this hope that it's all going to be worth it. And it is as we move forward. We get to the 19th and the sun is going to trine Chiron. The sun is going to be in Leo, final moments, 4 days of Leo sun season at this point, and Chiron is in Aries. So fire, fire trine. Okay, super important to know this energy. I'm going to leave it neutral as well, where the sun highlights and it illuminates things. It might highlight and illuminate some of those Chiron wounds that we're supposed to go back and heal. So that could be a reactivation of a trigger in a relationship, a trigger in your body, an itch that you can't seem to scratch, a wound that won't heal, an emotional conversation that is unresolved. Like it highlights, like go back and just solve it. Go back and just heal it. Go back and get that medicated cream and be committed to putting it on every day. Like something that needs to just be revisited, not a new wound, an old wound. Go back and get at it. The sun then moves into Virgo. Virgo sun season begins. Woo woo, as a Virgo sun. I love this season. This is always tough. Sometimes I do yellow because it's a sun, but then sometimes I do purple because it's a transit. So we're going to go with purple as a transit. Know that the Virgo area of your chart as of this date now needs you to shine that spotlight upon it, activating and heating up the North Node. This is where we highlight Virgo, the old habits, things that don't serve you, organizing your home, detoxing your body, being more cleanly, being more strategic, being more disciplined, being more of service. Like we can see a lot of health things come up. I always do detoxes during Virgo sun season. Then on that date as well, we're going to have Venus square Chiron. Okay. And she's going to square Chiron 26 degrees from Cancer to Aries. Just like she squared Saturn and Neptune at the beginning of the month, she's now going to square Chiron. So again, wounds, money wounds, relationship wounds, maybe old triggers, like you're like, God, I need to get rid of that car. It's just literally falling apart. Or these material possessions that keep being like a thorn in your side, a pain in your ass. You're like, I just have to sell these. I just have to get rid of them. I'm finally going to bring these clothes to the thrift store. Like Virgo energy is like just starting. So we want to purge and we want to clean and we want to organize and we want to be efficient and we want to streamline things. And it's like, we are just decluttering and we are getting rid of bad habits and we are not self-sabotaging anymore. And literally when this is all going on, it breeds right into the new moon in Virgo. And we love the Virgo new moon because this is our new beginning and our new fresh start. This is going to happen at 0 degrees. Remember, right as the sun comes in, new strategy, new organization, new habits, new ways to be of service, new ways to take care of our body. Like such a beautiful, beautiful new moon. And it's going to be great to like manage stress, to get rid of things that don't serve you anymore. So new patterns all around. The second that new moon is complete after the 25th, we are getting ready for eclipse season. We are moving in 2 weeks from eclipse season so that ecliptic energy could start brewing. So very important end of August into the beginning of September to detox, cleanse, purge, Get rid of those habits that aren't serving you. Get rid of self-sabotage. Get rid of victimization. Get rid of limiting thoughts. We're going to talk so much about this in the Astro Weather Report, and the Virgo Sun Season Challenge is going to do a group cleanse. I've been a health coach for 2 decades. It is my jam, and I'm going to really be infusing that part of me with the astro weather, because this is where it lines up. And if we want to get to the next dream, to the next level of our life, we need to be healthy. To get into that ideal relationship and live a long, healthy life with the love of our life, we need to be healthy. To go after our dreams and be an entrepreneur, you have to have chi and vitality and energy and stamina. You can't be sick on the couch every other week. When the world is going down, we know the world is going up and down, and there's all sorts of things. All you're going to have is your health. And you're going to have to be an advocate for your own health, because we know that health care is becoming unstable. And it's going to have a redirection. So you need your health. And this is where the astrology lines up with my zone of genius of health. So stay tuned for that. I hope you join us in the Astro Weather Report for all of that. And if not, really get your health foundations in order, okay, is the best thing I'm going to say at the end of this month. On the 24th, we are going to have the Sun square Uranus. This is going to be baked into the new moon, as the Sun and the moon are together, and they're going to be squared Uranus and Gemini, okay? This is going to definitely get a red energy for me, because Uranus shakes things up and the Sun heats up what needs to be shaken up. Okay. So this is really where we can see on this new moon that it's like we have to choose change. Uranus is about innovation, breakthroughs, technology, discovery of things. This is like a make or break energy. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that, because there's more we can talk about. Make or break. Be very cautious on this weekend. Be cautious on this day. Change is going to be happening. Unexpected things could be happening. Curveballs could be happening. Breakthroughs. But the Sun just heats up that Uranian energy of like, choose change, and history can no longer repeat itself. So I think that new moon is going to be very important to pick the change that we know we've been needing to make. If not, Uranus immediately will remind you that he'll do it for you. I mean, we don't want that. It's easier to change when we choose it. On the 25th, then we have Venus moving into Leo. This is what I was saying, where I'm so excited to see like the fashion trends, the social media trends. Venus is everything that we love, what we find beautiful and pleasurable. And we're also going to have this Leo energy, roaring, being bold, being dynamic, being charismatic, like wanting to show off a little bit. It's about partying. It's about being social. It's about connecting with others, putting a spotlight on your feminine, being artistic, being creative, passion and romance. Leo is about dating. So I can see people like, maybe they break up with someone at the beginning of the year. Then they get lucky and they go to a networking event. They go somewhere. They meet up with their family. Someone else is single. They meet the friend of their cousin and he's single or she's single. And then you start going on a date with them. And then Venus and Leo is about romance and passion and pleasure and joy and entertainment. Is going on all these dates and having the time of your life. So I think we're ending the month with that beautiful energy. Last few astro weather reports here to wrap up August. We're going to have Venus trine Neptune, because again, she's at 1 degree. So she's having a chit chat with Neptune, having a chit chat with Saturn. That is going to be, Venus is now in fire, Leo, talking to the other planets in fire, Aries, a fire trine, fire all around. Venus trining Neptune. I'm going to make this pink. Let's go back. This has to be pink, because Neptune is about faith and belief and creativity and romance and passion. And Venus and Leo is just having a good time. So I definitely think this could be a beautiful energy. Great to work with someone on a creative project. Great day to go on a date, to spend time doing something you love with someone you love. And if that's yourself, like, have a good old time. Great day for a self-care day for freaking sure. However, though, Venus is then going to oppose Pluto, also at 1 degrees, right? And so that is going to be 1 degrees of Leo and Aquarius. And this brings in the transformation that is necessary, the standing in your power that is necessary. This is really where people could be becoming very obsessed very quickly. So we do want to be cautious. This is going to get an orange, because Pluto is obsession, it's jealousy, it's intensity, it's depth, it's intimacy. It's like wanting to get raw and real, and it intensifies relationships, it intensifies experiences. So you could be going on a date, you could be hanging out and meeting someone, you could feeling all romantic, getting all in love and getting all passionate and getting all excited. And then Pluto is like intensifies that. So you just want to be cautious and careful. I definitely think there's some fueled energy here. And this could be around money too. So we just want to be careful financially as well this week. And then we're going to have Uranus sextile Neptune on this day. And so that is going to be from 1 degrees of Gemini to 1 degrees of Aries. And oh man, I want to make it red, but I don't think it's red. I kind of want to make it lucky and green. Yeah, let's go with that. That's the vibe I'm feeling. This is like you're on fire. Uranus, air, Neptune, Aries, fire. You're on fire. You're full throttle. This is a rare, rare, rare energy. These planets move so freaking slow. This is rare. And so Neptune glamorizes things. Uranus fuels things with change and innovation and breakthrough. Neptune rules spirituality. So this is like a quantum. Uranus is the quantum planet, and Neptune is the spiritual realm, the energetic realm. This is like a spiritual awakening gateway. This is like a launching into the next dimension, the next reality of your life. This is romanticizing things. This is glamorizing like entrepreneurship, being a lone wolf, stepping into your power. It's almost like you're moving slow and you're riding that wave, like all of a sudden you get on that wave. You've been fighting and paddling and waiting for that wave, and you've fallen and you crash. And then you get up and you paddle again and wait for the wave. And now all of a sudden that like freaking epic wave, that perfect surfing wave comes along and you just catch it at the right time and it just launches you. We're going to do something in the astro weather report to like launch us into the wave for this day. So if you're in there, like stay tuned. We are riding the wave into Labor Day weekend, because then we move into Labor Day weekend. No crazy astro weather events. Things are dying down. If you're like meeting someone, go on that date. Like the vibration is still strong. Venus is in Leo over Labor Day weekend. And we end the month on the 31st with Mercury trine Chiron. Okay, and so this is just going to be very neutral for me. This is going to be a fire trine. Again, Chiron is those wounds. Mercury is having a conversation. It's revisiting those things that irritated you. It's going back to those things that, during the Mercury retrograde, you recognize that needed to be addressed, that needed to be acknowledged. And so there's just a possibility for communication and healing and resolving and going back to those old things that just are still kind of lingering. So that is the vibration for August. I hope you are as excited as I am about this energy. I hope this video is extremely helpful for you. If it is, please let me know in the comments, what date on your calendar do you need to reorganize? Do you have anything on your calendar already that you're like, oh, now that I know about the astro weather, I'm loving it, or I'm moving it and replanning it? And also let me know if you are a Virgo sun like me. Happy solar return as we get into Virgo sun season. If you want to do any one-on-one sessions with me, I'd be happy to dive in with you, whether we do a mini session just on the month ahead. If you want to take advantage of my reading special every month, the cosmic download of the month, I change the theme every month and I do a discounted reading for $50 off. And this month for August is going to be Aligned CEO, a business birth chart reading for you to help you make more money, elevate your income. If you're in a professional career and want to know how to get that promotion, you want to launch something, you want to start a new project, you want to start a podcast, you want to pick the right day. There's so many different ways that we can use astrology for you to strategize, make more money, become an entrepreneur, to be super successful in your life. So we can collab on how that will look depending on what it is that you need. Reach out to me at The Relational Astrologer on any social media platform. Come join us on Telegram. We'd love to have you for all the astro weather fun. We do new moons, full moons, challenges. You get discounts on all the readings, all my services for being a part of the astro family. And it's a very, very low cost per month. And you can cancel anytime, especially if maybe it doesn't serve you for a certain season. And then you can come back and join us when you're ready. So love you guys so much. Thank you for being a part of my astro family. Thank you for joining me in this video today. Like, subscribe, say hello, share it with a friend who's just getting into astrology that you think would really benefit from this. And I will see you in the next video and over on the Relational Astrology Podcast. Bye, everyone. Happy August.